Salam. So this is your neutrino astrology report for the week of February 18th to the 25th. And tomorrow, the sun moves into the shadow of victim, and we have the potential to claim the gift of freedom. So I've already done lots of videos on the victim already. So if you just Google it in my channel, you'll find lots of videos to watch if you want to pursue this more. So I just want to approach this video from a different perspective because I don't like repeating myself. Okay, so let's look at the collective, right? The big news in the collective this past week has been the shootings in the USA, right, on Valentine's Day, which is traditionally a celebration of love. And I just read a recent statistic that there are actually more guns in the USA than there are people in the USA. Isn't that incredible? So with each day, we're moving closer and closer into the Aquarian Age. And this means that our sensitivity is increasing day by day. So people cannot suppress their emotions any longer. So this means feelings of anger, sadness, depression, anxiety, or fear, right, are coming up. So what do people do when they're unconscious? They react to these emotions, right, and then throw a bunch of guns in the mix, and you can see that violence is inevitable. So this world that we live in is saturated in the shadow frequency. And this is the low frequency energy that's made up of fear. So imagine that you're a fish, right, living in the water. And that water that you live in is fear. That's all you know. And sometimes the fear is intense. And sometimes you don't feel it at all. But it's always there. So maybe you jumped out of the water a few times in your life. And you felt peace. Maybe you felt joy. But only for brief moments of time. Most people on the planet live this way. People feel that happiness is the absence of fear, right? That's the most anyone can aspire to, is to not feel fear. So our whole world is designed to keep us emanating fear. And the fear pool that we live in is coming from each one of us, where each one of us is contributing to the fear pool. So look at our mainstream media. Usually only the most negative things in the world are covered, right? The underbelly of humanity is covered. There's always enemies. There's a bad guy that we need to protect ourselves from. It's the Russians, the North Korea, it's the terrorists. There's murderers, there's thieves, there's charlatans. There's so many people that can harm you. That's the message, isn't it? The message is the world is a dangerous place. So keep small and stay in your own little world. And I live in Hawaii right now, and we had a false missile attack alert. You may have heard of it. So for 38 minutes, people here were frightened and emanating fear. And then a couple days later, there was a false missile attack alert in Japan. And shortly after that, there was a false missile attack alert on the East Coast. Interesting, eh? Is that a coincidence? So imagine all those people at the same time emanating the frequency of fear. Just pumping it into the fear pool. Right? We're literally creating this environment that we live in. When that frequency of fear moves through your DNA contracts. And that's what's creating your reality. So we're literally creating the environment that we live in. And this fear, among many things, creates separation. We become fearful of each other. We don't talk to people. Everyone's a stranger. Everyone's a potential enemy. Fear keeps us from uniting. Keeps us from talking to one another. It keeps us easily controlled and manipulated to remain good little slaves and consumers. Keeps us out of our creative power. keeps us out of our position as a creator for the Aquarian Age. So what does all this mean spiritually in terms of our evolutionary timeline? Well, the collective unconscious of humanity is being purified. All those buried ancestral memories are surfacing. All those repressed ancestral emotions are rising to be released. And in the year 2027, our human emotions will become less in intensity. So we won't be victimized by our emotions. We won't be making rash decisions from an emotional place. So you can imagine what a big deal this is going to be. And just take a moment even to reflect on all the decisions in your life that you've made up until now, that you've made out of fear. Be honest with yourself. You know, I was in fear when I made that decision. Right? Maybe you chose a partner who is secure, the steady Eddie, who doesn't really inspire you to grow, but he's always the same, right? Or you chose a certain career for security, for the paycheck only, because it was safe. You gave up on your dream. Because really, we want emotional security. We want to feel emotionally secure. We don't want to feel emotionally uncomfortable. Yet this is the fastest way for us to grow. And we're not going to be able to escape feeling emotionally uncomfortable, especially in these 9 years that are coming up. So when you're in the fear pool, you lose your intelligence, right? When you're in the fear pool, you lose your intelligence. And look no further than our so-called leaders out there, right? Their answer to gun violence is, well, we'll give the teachers guns and we'll train them. We'll solve the problem by throwing more guns, right? It's all about money. So your intelligence, right? We're fighting stupidity right now as we come closer into the Aquarian Age. That's what we're fighting against. And it's really fear. So you lose your intelligence when you're in the fear pool. And when you're emanating fear, you attract fear from the human collective field because we're all connected. And this fear snowballs. So you feel more and more fear. And this in turn affects your mind, the quality of your thinking. Your thinking becomes about survival, becomes about competition. It becomes about suspicion, right? And what can I get for myself? It's very selfish. And guess what? You attract other thought forms from the human collective field, those negative thought forms. And this snowballs. And this is what becomes mental anxiety, right? Or even a full-on panic attack. And what happens to your overall frequency? Goes down, down, down. And then you're drowning in the fear pool. And this affects your perception of what you see out in the world. When you're in the fear pool, all you can see are all the things that you can feel victimized by. So it's really important in this time that you see your emotions and your thought patterns as separate entities from you. They're not yours. The emotions are not you. The thought patterns are not you. They're just moving through you. Because you are, in truth, love. That's your true vibration. You're a frequency pattern of love. That's all you are. So as an indigo or creative rebel, you and only you are in charge of your consciousness and your frequency. So only you are in charge of your consciousness and your frequency. So this means to escape the fear pool, you must raise your frequency, right? And you can do this through meditation, through chanting mantra, practicing yoga, or some other spiritual practice. But you must not indulge in victim thoughts or negativity, right? So no judging other people, no judging yourself, no blaming other people, no complaining, right? Not everybody wants to do this because it takes discipline, but this is maturity, emotional maturity. And then you become part of the solution because you're not contributing to that fear pool, right? So don't believe everything you read, especially if it isn't rooted in love. Don't get pulled out there. Stay in here. And don't react from fear, and never ever make any decisions from fear. You want to get yourself calm, right? And then you're filled with optimistic thoughts. And then you act from this place or not, right? And I love what Yogi Bhajan says. He says, go out there and be the victim, or stay in here and be the master. So what happens when this fear pool gets purified? That's where we're headed. The fear pool is getting purified. Well, it turns into the love pool. And this makes it easier to make good decisions that serve the whole of humanity rather than just the individual. Love is filled with creativity. That's what creativity is. It's love, which we need desperately right now to create this new earth. The love pool brings friendship back. Friendship, true friendship, right? Humans at our nature are friendly. It's our true nature is to be friendly. And so what happens when we're friends, when we're all friends? Well, we no longer fear one another. What happens then? Well, there's no borders. There's no walls. There's no barriers. There's no passports. Probably the elimination of money, right? Because our services and products will come from a place of generosity. Oh, I can help you with that. I can do that. And then others will do the same for you. Caring and kindness. This is when we care about our planet and each other. When we bring oneness, that's the truth, right? The capital T truth is we're all connected to each other and to every sentient being on the planet and to the planet itself, the universe, the stars, the planets, everything. We're connected to all of it. So why would you harm someone or something that you know is part of you? That would be considered insane, wouldn't it, if you were to chop off your finger? That it's a part of you. It's harming you. Not harming your finger, it's harming you. So, I've included a Kundalini Yoga meditation to get rid of fear, okay? And plus breathe. Because you can't always meditate. There's certain places it's like, I can't meditate. But you can always breathe. And when your frequency is down, check in with your breath. And 10 times out of 10, you're shallow breathing. And this in turn is feeding the fear pool, and it's affecting the quality of your thoughts, and it's putting you in a stress state. And then you're attracting all the other thought forms and all the other negative emotions are coming straight for you, like missiles. So, you catch your frequency is down, breathe into the belly, slowly and deeply. Right, and relax the belly. And the people around you will be able to feel your elevated frequency. And they'll be able to sync up to you. It only takes one person emanating love to shift an environment of 10 people that are pumping out fear. It just takes one. So don't underestimate your power as an individual. This is your true freedom. To know that you don't have to be living in the fear pool with most of the world. But it's your responsibility. Right? That's the freedom. Freedom comes with responsibility. This is freedom to feel yourself. Right? To feel yourself. Freedom to express your unique gifts. Freedom to be yourself. You know, in this time that we're in right now, when you're out of the fear pool, the juxtaposition is there's so much evolutionary energy. There's so much energy of light when you refuse to jump in the fear pool with everybody else. So, subscribe to my channel, the red button below, and click the bell so that you'll be notified when I drop a video. And I drop a video every Sunday. And follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and I post daily there about the energies of the day. And I also have a free MP3 to start the process to activate your soul purpose. In my new live online program, Soul Purpose Activation for Indigos and Creative Rebels, starts March 18th, 2018. And I have information on my website, so check that out, March 18th. And all the links can be found below in the information box. And please share this video with others that you think can benefit from this message. And have a wonderful week swimming in the love pool. Okay, Sat Nam.